Hey, what is up YouTube? So I'm going to be uploading another video. Today I will be showing you guys how to anchor and rotate on raid. This is a more team-based map, so you'll notice I do kind of explain a lot of the portions where the AR is responsible for watching this sort of position while the submachine gun has to push out a different position.
Hard point.
I gotta lower the game volume. Okay. So pretty much off the rip of this hill, your goal here is to fight this off and push through eventually. So, best place for, like, I guess your anchor, your AR to kind of position himself would either be up here and supporting his team, or what he can do, he gets a really a quick class, rushes over here, and you can actually beat them, the other team, towards this little alleyway and maybe pick up a kill or two. Then, if you get that 1 or 2 kills, then your SMGs are in a good position to push. You fight this guy out of laundry, and eventually your goal is to flip. So whatever, you pick up your scrap time here, and right here, you pick up your scrap time here, and then you rotate. Usually when rotating from this hill as your AR player, depends how early of a rotation you get. If you get a really early rotation, chances are they can't be basketball. So if you get a really early rotation, which your first instinct should be, is to rotate over here, and, hold down this position at water. This is a good vantage point. The only problem is that head glitch is a little bit of a tricky head glitch to, pick people off. But your idea here is to hold this water, hold this while your SMGs rotate into here. Now, after your team is fully rotated and is out of that position, and you got your AR up here, this AR pretty much sits here the whole game and rotates to this tree, depending on where the team is. What you should do is you should have an SMG player pushed out this way, fight this off, and get a glimpse here. If there's nobody here, this SMG could rotate back into the hill, fight this off with this team, and you give up water, and then you come watch here. So if there's nobody out here, nobody pushed up from there, then your job is just going to be to sit here while your 2 SMGs fight there and another SMG sits in water. Now, let's say they break water, they kill your teammate out of water. This is where you have to fight it, and you fight this off while your teammate rotates and takes your position. So it's just a team rotation here. It's a more team-based map, kind of not like Yemen where you kind of anchor by yourself or you can hold stuff down by yourself. This is a very close medium range map, so ARs are kind of at a disadvantage sometimes. You gotta be real careful where you position yourself and stuff like that. Alright, so now, at about, I'd say 30 to 25 seconds, this is when you gotta hit this rotation hard. Never rotate through the hill, so whenever you gotta rotate, you push out this water side, you push this. Depends on how early rotation you get. If you know that you're gonna beat the other team here, what your goal is, don't stop here. Just keep pushing. Clear this out. Jump around the hill. You want to rotate past that actual water side, and then fight this off here with your team. All right, now the tricky part here is as you rotate through that water side, one of your teammates should come with you and help you just in case they need a trade. But then your other 2 teammates need to focus on cutting off that art side, because realistically, if you're rotating through this water side and you have hill control, they're going to start spawning back that way. So what your teammates need to do is they need to come through middle, maybe send one through pillars of delay and the other guy through art, and coming up here and fighting this off a little bit, making sure they don't get control of this hill. This in that building. This hill right here, this garage hill, kind of reminds me of top Yemen hill, because you need to push out both ways. You can't just sit. If you sit one side and control one side of the map, the other team's going to spawn around the other side. If you control both sides of the map, they're going to spawn all the way across the map. So what you got to do is you make sure that you post up both sides. Really, I think the best position to have your AR at the beginning of the hill would be inside it. Because if you're inside the hill with an assault rifle and you got flakjack and all that stuff that most anchors use, it's going to be a real hard position to kill. Especially if you're just sitting here watching middle, and then if the guy blue car needs help, it's long sight lines and it's easy for an AR. And then what you should do is you have an SMG pushed out water side, checking this out, and then you have an SMG you know, pushed up middle, and Art, and these two SMGs really should just fight and hold this building. So one could be like fighting outside the ramp or top this Art building, while the other one's kind of in the building, you know, trading with middle, because you have an AR watching middle. So it should be, you know, easy kills. It should be trades, easy. And then whatever the other team breaks, because eventually this is a very hard hill to hold for whole 60 seconds if the team is smart, because eventually they'll break one of your lanes, whether it's middle, because they'll be throwing smokes and all kinds of stuff, and you won't be able to defend it for the whole time. So eventually they'll break through one of the lanes, and that's when you got to rotate accordingly with your team, blah, blah. Alright, now, next hill, basketball. So what you want to do for basketball hill rotation is you don't want to rotate through water. So whenever you do decide to rotate, whether it's 30 to 25 seconds, it really depends on your team. What you want to do is you want to rotate through the ringside. So as you're rotating through ringside, since you have an AR, you want to push this ringside. You don't want to rotate through kitchen or anything like that, because you have long sight lines. It's going to be a lot easier, and you should bring a teammate with you. So an SMG is going to, like, you know, bait the close range sight line. So you can kind of just post up here. Your SMG jumps up the window, clears that backside out. And then you and your SMG got a bait and switch here. So, you know, you check beyond the rock, you check beyond the tree, and then you fight accordingly. So let's say he's behind the rock. So your team can just jump around the corner, and then you wait and get a clear shot on him, blah, blah. Alright, so now, you two rotate this way, so where do the rest of your teammates rotate? One of them will probably be picking up scrap time, but let's say you decide to give up the hill, you know, and give them, like, the other team 20 seconds, so you get a good rotation. You send 2 up kitchen. You don't send people up water at all. You send 2 people that way and 2 people kitchen. So this is where your SMGs really have to work together and bait and switch here. So you check this, like, area right here. Okay, nobody here. And then you send an SMG, fight this off. The other SMG comes through here. You get control of this building. And then, boom, you have top spawn. And as the anchor, your goal here is going to be to rotate through the jungle side, you know, fight any ARs that are out in the hill, so any long sight lines. If nobody's out in the hill, you turn around, and you can either watch your backs, or you can go and help water. It really depends on what your teammate's more comfortable in. It depends if you have 2 ARs, realistically. It's just how you play. After your teammates get kitchen control and fight this off, you should have, you know, about 3 up top and 1 coming to either this window or this balcony. And so the guy, if you're the anchor and you want to come here and fight this off, that's good. Then you can 3-push hill with your SMGs. Your 3 SMGs could 3-push this. After you get control of that, then you can turn around and your teammates will rotate up top accordingly. Best setup, in my opinion, would be a guy at this tree, a guy in kitchen, a guy in the hill, and a guy being really aggressive water side. So a guy pushed up Tiki Bar, a guy in here, you at the tree, and a guy in hill. That's, I think, the best setup, because let's say you die, your teammate dies in kitchen. Now what you could do is you can just, you know, post up at this money window. Your teammate should spawn up top, and you can fight this relatively easily. So that's the rotation for that hill. When rotating to this hill's tricky, the middle one. A lot of people like to play differently, but I found that the best way is to make sure that you hold this and this. You don't want to hold ring and art. I honestly think it's the best way, because what you can do is if you hold this kitchen, you should be spawned, you know, around here most of the time, or up here. So off rotation, don't rotate too far around. I mean, let me rephrase this, because this is a team rotation thing. The anchor, what he's going to want to do is he's going to want to fight this off. So he's going to want to rotate here. You can either go top laundry, go all the way around, whatever you want to do. But fight this ring rotation off, because a lot of teams will try to get control of ring early, and it's something you want to avoid at the beginning of hills. And so the rest of your team, what they should be doing is they should be, you know, holding this kitchen down. One can go into money and wait for this guy to run off the hill and kill him. And one can go into kitchen and, you know, push out the hill. So you have one guy pushing out by the hill. You have one guy, you know, waiting for this guy to rotate. You have your anchor over there, and then your second SMG could either go water steps. Yeah, you wanna go like water steps, or sit in the hill with your team. So now the way this will work is after this guy, okay, let's say he sees this guy and he kills him. Alright, then he could jump out and push water. But let's say he doesn't see him. That means he's going to come up behind him laundry. So what he does is he turns around, fights this off, whatever. If after he gets this kill, this guy can jump out the window and go block water. And so now what this does is you have water, you have your guys in hill, and then you have that guy that was fighting off ring. So now, depending on the minimap and depending on where your enemy's position, you'll be able to predict the spawn. So let's say after you gave up kitchen, you fought off water, and your teammate still has that top ring, that ring area, and you have those two guys in hill. Then you can tell your teammates, okay, they're spawning art and kitchen. Push out the kitchen. One of them will come off the hill, rush this kitchen, and make sure that they don't come in this building. And so now, after you fight off this kitchen, you have that water steps. Chances are your ring and columns are going to be the things that are open, and it allows you to focus on them, you know, easier. Pillars are pretty easy to focus on because they have like these limited little things that they can walk through. So it's like a lot more focused. Kitchen, excuse me, sorry about that. I just sneezed. Kitchen's a lot harder because I think it's an easier like sight line. If they just smoke this, they can run like cut the corners and, you know, jump out, jump in the hill. And then art's a lot harder because they can kind of just, you know, wall blast you through the wall. So you want to kind of focus them through here in pillars, in my opinion. Well, anyways, that's pretty much it for this one. I guess let me just explain the rotation up top. So whenever you're rotating back to the middle hill, you want to rotate through up top, get control of this top side, and hold the anchor position again. But that's pretty much it for this map. It's a pretty quick map. It's easy to learn. It's probably this might sound weird as hell, but I swear it's like every team's best map in Hardpoint. So if you want to see like the fairest maps in competitive, like, and the closest ones, chances are you'll find them on Raid. So that's pretty much it for this anchor rotation video. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, I disappointed you. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys learned a lot. Peace.